Hey there, I thought I'd do a quick video going over my home lab, my collection of servers which I've built up over the years. I use these for all sorts of software development and learning different technologies for my work. So I thought I'd share it with all of you. It's turned into quite the substantial collection now, and I've used it for all sorts of like VMware, hypervisors, networking, practice, that kind of thing. This is the rack it's in. I think it's a 24U rack. Has a nice glass front, but that's not on at the moment. So at the top, these are my favorite servers, the DL360Ps. They're pretty high spec. One of these I got from the man's shed for a pack of 8 Monster Energies. So each one of these has a RAID 1 of some 15K SAS drives, which it uses as a boot drive. And then in addition to that, they have 6 500 gig SAS drives. I think at the moment they're in RAID 10, but RAID 5 also is what I plan to move it towards when I get my disk controllers in, which is why I'm in the garage today in the first place. They're pretty good machines. Each one's equipped with two 10-core Xeons, 64 gigs of memory. So yeah, pretty good. Below that I've got my pull-out KVM, and this 10 gig switch, which is the cheapest 10 gig switch I could find online. And it doesn't perform very well. Underneath that, there's a D-Link WebSmart switch. Again, it's just another cheap switch. Although it does actually perform pretty well. I get good latencies on it, and I've had no issues. Although the UI is a bit messy. And then beneath that, I've got my VMware cluster. So these are 3 Dell R415s. And they each boot from a 500 gig SATA drive. The storage for this cluster is handled by my file server, which is why there's only one drive in each. So then, here it is my file server. Admittedly empty at the moment, only 3 drives installed. That's because I gave a lot of them away to a friend of mine for a discount price. I don't really have much data to store. I'm not a big data hoarder or anything like that. And then right at the very bottom, got my UPS. It's a 6U monster of a UPS. I think it's like 3000 volt amps, if I remember correctly. And the extension on the bottom is additional batteries. So that pretty much covers the front. If you go around the back, you can have a look at my horrific cable management. It really is a disaster back here. Maybe at some point I'll get some cable management arms so I can slide my servers in and out without having to unplug them every time. But at the moment it's just a bit of a mess. Probably not the way to treat fiber cables either. Alright, so the reason, I mentioned before, the reason I'm here is because I want to add some disk caches to my HP machines. At the moment, my disk performance is pretty terrible since every time I need to write to disk, there's no way for it to cache it on the RAID controller, and it just cripples my performance. And considering I usually use these machines for building environments quickly, spinning up virtual machines and things like that, I would like better disk performance so that process becomes a bit less of a pain. That's the insides of the machine. Pretty specced out. I used to run these with 128 gigs, but I removed half of it to spare for the VMware cluster and my workstation at home. I'm pretty pleased with this. I think each one must have cost me about £250 to configure, which is like a bargain. These network cards, 10 gig SFP plus cards, got those on eBay for under £30 each, I think, including shipping, which is a steal. I like using enterprise equipment. You get these additional features like hot swap fans. Just makes life a lot easier. So here's where the drive cache is supposed to go. As you can see, it's empty at the moment. These are the ones I got on eBay. I trust these are the right ones. It is hard to tell. HP's website is a bit of a mess, but I think these are right. Let's see if they fit. There we go. It's installed. I guess they must have been the right ones. Well, before I celebrate too early, let's boot it up. Alright, so it's powering on. You see the little green light there. It's not a server if it doesn't take forever to turn on. Alright, so we finally started booting into the BIOS. You can see some of the features I've licensed here. I do like the little display it gives you. There we go, so you can see my two 10-core Xeons. They're very low frequency ones. They're the power efficient ones, but I still get great performance when running virtual machines. I'm not sure why that's in static high performance mode. Should probably change that. I think I'll do that after I've checked the drive cache actually works. There we go. Unsupported configuration, cache module, functional. Okay, that's just because I didn't get the battery attached to the cache controller, because that costs too much. So I'll turn off safe caching, and then I'll be able to use it as a write cache as well. Here we are. Just want to turn on balanced power usage, because I like my my parents' power bill to not be too ludicrous. So that concludes the tour of my home lab. I hope you found it enjoyable. What do YouTubers say? Like and subscribe if you liked the video. I've also created a Twitter account very recently, so if you want to become a follower, there's a link in the description. I'd really appreciate that. Yeah, have a great day.